In any event, let's go right to the phones. You are live on WGMD. Who's this?
This is Gerard.
Gerard, where are you calling from?
San Diego.
Okay, what's going on out there in Southern California?
Not much. How are you, Mr. Savage?
Savage.
Oh, is this Duke?
Yes, it is.
Sorry about that.
That's quite all right. It could have been a lot worse. So what's going on?
I just had an interesting story I thought you would like.
Okay.
When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band. When we were there, he said, "Son, when you grow up, would you be the savior, broken, the beaten, and the damned?"
Okay.
He said, "Will you defeat them, your demons," sorry, it's written down, "and all the non-believers, the plans that they have made? Because one day I'll leave you, a phantom, to lead you in the summer, to join the Black Parade."
I'm from West Philadelphia.
Okay. What's going on up there?
My day.
Okay.
Nothing, just chilling, back out, relaxing on cool, shooting some people outside of school. Then a couple of guys came up for them.
Okay, that's great. 92.7 WGMD, the talk of Delmarva. You're live on the air. Who's this?
Hi, this is Mike.
Okay, Mike.
I'm calling from Spokane. I just had a question for you.
Okay, Mike.
I was just wondering, even though Obama lost the game, do you think he could turn the economy around?
Well, I'm not really sure what it is that he lost.
He lost the game.
Well, which game are you talking about?
The game. He lost it.
Not really sure which game it is that he played, but, the fact of the matter, ultimately, the President of the United States has very, very little operational authority over the economy. He cannot spend money. He cannot raise taxes. He cannot force bills to stop or go through. He has very little actual control. He cannot dictate to the Federal Reserve. He cannot force the Mint to coin money, and he can't force the Bureau of Engraving and Printing to print money. It's a question of whether or not the American people have confidence in him. That is going to have a reflection on the way the economy performs. And I think it's now very clear that the majority of people in business in this country really do not have confidence in Obama's ability to manage the government and keep our country on an even keel. And I think that that's one of the reasons why we're in the trouble that we're in right now.
Okay, well, I was just wondering because I heard Obama had over 9,000 powers, so I thought he could turn this whole thing around, and I think he just really messed it up so far.
Well, I think so, too, and he did that by doing over 9,000 barrel rolls. 92.7 WGMD, you're live on the air. Who's this?
Hi, this is Susan. I have to agree with you. That was a terrorist attack.
Yeah, I will. 92.7 WGMD, the talk of Delmarva. You're live on the air. Who's this?
This is Steve.
Okay, Steve, what's happening?
I would like to make a statement on something you discussed earlier.
That would be fine.
I would just like to say that the Holocaust was a lie.
Oh, Steve, now come on now. My mom was at Dachau the day it was liberated. Kind of nonsense. I've got to be honest with you. It just doesn't make any sense at all to me. You're live on the air. Who's this?
Alex from New York.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, I was wondering, when you were talking about Nidal Hassan, the Fort Hood killer,
yes,
and you were saying how he was Islamic and all, I'm not quite sure how accurate that is, because when you said he was yelling Admiral Akbar, are you sure you're not mixing him up with a really big Star Wars fan who was like, we want to kill all those people in the name of like George Lucas or something like that?
No. I want to know about General Nadine and General Calrissian, and how are things in orbit around the forest moon of Endor. 92.7 WGMD, you're live on the air. Who's this?
Hello, is this the Krusty Krab?
No, it's not. This is the, I don't know. Well, I am a Cancer. I don't know. That's what. To WGMD, let's take one more call before break. You're on there. Who's this?
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, dude.
Speaking.
Yeah, I was just going to talk about the Ford hood shooter.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why we have to be so politically correct about this issue. I mean, when I debate this around some of my friends that are Muslim, they kind of get like a little angry with me, and they start to, argue how. And then just the other night, I got in one little fight, and my mom got scared. She said, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air."
Oh, I see. So that would make you the Fresh Prince of Bel Air? Is that the 92.7 WGMD? You're live on the air. Who's this? Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? I'll bet that guy has been sitting in his mom's basement for the last 5.5 hours just waiting for the opportunity to do that. 92.7 WGMD, you're live on the air. Who's this? 92.7 WGMD, you're live on the air. Who's this?
Hi, it's Angel.
Hey, Angel, how are you? Checked out your blog today.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yeah, you can go ahead, your blog address to people. If you want people to read your blog, go ahead and give it. I'm cool with that.
I try. Well, honestly, I just want to make sure people realize that, no matter what happens, I'm not going to stop.
I kind of got that impression from your writing. And now I do want to say something to you. You can take from the fact that the House of Representatives can pass anything that they want to until the Senate concurs and until the President signs it. It's just a bill. It's not the law.
Yeah, that's the big thing for me is whether or not it's going to go through with the Senate.
That's not going to happen for quite some time. We are now seeing some blue dogs, and of course the independents like Joe Lieberman in the Senate are coming out and saying, look, we're just not going to go for this. And I'm encouraged by the fact that my congressman on the eastern shore of Maryland, the 1st District of Maryland, Frank Cradaville, the former Queen Anne's County prosecutor, state's attorney, and a Democrat, he did not vote for the Democrat bill. So I guess Nancy Pelosi is going to want to take him to the woodshed at some point soon. But he'd not vote for it. To his credit, I guess he got the message. It's a good thing.
Yeah, let's definitely hope so. Because I was going to say you spent all this time talking about the Fort Hood raid, and I don't want to discredit that at all. But I wanted to know your opinion on them pushing that bill through the House.
I think that it is, when people go into politics, they are, by definition, going to be significantly more passionate about ideology, about the law, about our country, than people that don't go into politics. I mean, that simply makes sense, right? So those are people that have a series of ideas, they have an agenda, they want to change this country into something that it is not and was never intended to be, and by gumption, they are going to ram that down the American people's throats no matter what, at all costs. As you're aware, I am adamantly opposed to the idea of the federal government getting involved in health care. I think it is a bad move, a bad idea, and the people that live under those systems don't particularly like them, as everyone is aware.
Oh, definitely. And, just to go like Leroy Jenkins on it, like I have pre-existing medical conditions, and I don't have health insurance because of it, because it would cost me a lot of money to get health insurance, but I do not want the public option.
No, I don't want it either. The entire thing about the so-called public option, unquote, is that it is there to force private insurance companies literally out of business. And that's what it is there for. After a couple of years, the private insurance companies will simply go out of business, because after the first year of this 1,900-page monstrosity, the private health insurance companies will not be allowed to enroll any new customers. So eventually they go out of business. That's what the government wants. They want to take over the entire thing and leave you with no choices. At that point, the public option will be the only option. And then Obama got what he wanted, and as he said famously during a debate during primary season, quote, if I had my druthers, I would go with a single-payer system. And he's never had to live under one of those, so he doesn't know what it's like. Of course, he's, the president, so all the difficulties that everybody under